Okay, welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. Now I want to cross over to Niger State. As you know, it's been a hotbed of insecurity, and we can touch base with Honorable Umar Emmanuel, who is the Niger State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, as well as Internal Security. So, Honorable Emmanuel, good morning to you.
Mr. Following, good day, sir. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the program. We were wanting a sort of
thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, a progress report, a situation report. How are things in terms of security in Niger State vis-a-vis the banditry, kidnapping, and all those kind of things? Are we coming to grips with it, or is it worsening?
Well, first, the situation is still fluid. However, we've recorded great successes of recent, and I'm sure you've been following up with the development in Niger State, what happened in a few weeks, how we were able to disseminate a large number, neutralize a large number of the bandits, and we're able to, our armed forces and personnel, in conjunction with our vigilante group and community people, were able to neutralize a large number of them. We did got some of their equipments and their mobility. So, well, despite it remained fluid, but again, our security agencies are doing their best.
Okay, we're making significant inroads to the ultimate objective of really, returning back to the happy days when life was normal. But what are the, now that at this stage, what is the main challenge? Because sometimes through security forces, the army, as you've just explained, they're able to push them back, but invariably they come back again, and then we keep on going and coming, and really the people of Niger State, indeed all of Nigeria, just want peace. People want to be able to travel to Niger State if they want to.
That's very true.
The people in Niger State themselves want peace and security. So what do you think can be done so that you can give the all clear, that is your government, can give the all clear that things are really under control? Because right now it seems to me that a number of people will be scared to travel to Niger. Is that a well-founded fear?
Well, first, like you rightly said, Niger State, that we all know, used to be a sleepy, very quiet and peaceful state. Not until recently, when we begin to see heightened security threat of banditry. And this started like a communal clash between herders, farmers, but again, it snowballed into a more organized crime in banditry and act of terrorism, which became like an enterprise. But again, as we continue to face these challenges, and there were new tactics that we did in rejigging the system and to have a multi-sector approach towards it, and which involved from the community level to the state level, and also our engagement with also the federal level. And now this strategy is paying off. If you've been following events, you know before now, the level of attack comes in and out, and the level of abduction, the level of displacement comes in and out. But on recent incidents that we've seen and the successes that God has given us, it's yielding fruit. And we strongly believe that if we maintain the tempo and if we continue getting all these multi-level cooperation and engagement, very soon the issue of banditry in Niger will be a thing of the past. Okay. Now, you were talking about what are those collaboratory measures we are putting in place. Some of those strategies are not things that I'm going to speak about on air. However, if you know the state very well, most of these attacks and those who come into attacks is just an intrusion from our neighboring states. Now, it is important for me to maybe explain to you Niger. Niger being a north central state, we share border with about 6 states, namely Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara, Kebbi, FCT, we have Kogi and Kwara. And at the other side of us, we share border with, there is an international border. So all these, and most of these states that I mentioned have faced or still facing one security challenges or the other. So most times these bandits access into our state from a neighboring state. And as well, again, we know that in some parts of some local governments, they have camps there, and we've done a tremendous effort in neutralizing those camps, and we will keep, increase our attack towards those camps. But again, they come in, cross into our border, cause this havoc, and move out. Okay. But recently, with this rejigging of our security system, we are getting success. We are making success.
Well, that's good to hear, because one must remain eternally hopeful, about things Nigeria. And you pointed out there that you're surrounded by so many, perhaps more than most, as you said. Maybe that's a function of you being in the north central. But your portfolio is local government, chieftaincy affairs, and internal security. Now, why I brought that up again is the fact that people say, "I'm robber, no be spirit," or there was that national catchphrase. So people are known. The role of traditional rulers, there was a time when it seemed that the authorities were leaning a bit on traditional rulers, saying that, look, you're going to have to bear responsibility because nothing really is going on in your domain that you don't know about, or shouldn't be, going on in your domain that you don't know anything about. I don't know if all the traditional rulers and local councils and local governments are on board with this to help the authorities by not giving them a place to shelter. The bad guys, that is.
Oh, sure. If you've been following the trends in Niger, and His Excellency the Governor Abubakar Sani Bello has been so proactive over that. The engagement of all sectors in fighting these menace. We have both in our kinetic and non-kinetic approach towards this. And one of the things we do is that there is that engagement of the community people to build resilience, to provide information, to speak, and also sensitize our community people. Our traditional institutions too are actively involved in this fight. If you've listened to what happened in the recent past, where in the community helped in frustrating the activities of these people. Okay. So we also involved our traditional rural institutions in the states, and they've been very, very supportive, and in our engagement in peace building and also in conflict mitigation. And also most of them provides us with information, provides us with also some other layers that they've developed within the community. We have a jingle that we in the states, which it's speaking about, if you notice anything, report to a set dedicated lines that we have, and all those have been yielding results. Okay, that's quite encouraging, because as you made the vital point that, look, you're surrounded, you have borders, is the way I should put it. You have borders with what? States ranging from Kwara to Kaduna to Katsina to Kogi to Kebbi, even Zamfara. All of those states themselves have varying degrees of insecurity that they are dealing with. So they themselves will not be very good, nice hosts. So that's why one is hoping that with this situation, whenever the alertness, shall we say, is heightened, you should be able to record, better successes as we go along. Now, let me just ask if the whole matter of kidnapping for ransom, which is, it sort of developed on us. Do you have outstanding cases of citizens that are still in the hands of the abductors? Any insecurity highlights that you wanted to air as we hope for a resolution of the issue? I'm sorry, you may have to repeat that again. I think I lost you at a point.
Okay.
I know you were talking about KFR, kidnap for ransom.
Yeah. Are there any outstanding citizens in the hands of their abductors, for example, which is always a traumatic and emotional affair, in your experience in Niger State?
Well, you know, it's possible that there are still citizens who are still in the hands of these criminals. But however, most times people also find they deal with those issues as family issues because of the position of the state government. We do not encourage and we do not pay ransom as a state government. However, you know, citizens and families take decisions on their own. But again, in the recent assault that we had on the bandits, with about 3 victims were rescued, and our law enforcement security agencies are doing their best, and most times when we go out on operations like that, they rescue victims. But again, let me also, I talked about Niger being surrounded by these states. We now have a platform that these states that are faced with these insecurity challenges, we called ourselves the frontline states. That's Zamfara, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, and Kaduna states. We speak to each other, we share information with each other, and we do sometimes operations together because we know that these are common criminals. And these criminals must be rooted out of our community. Okay. And so it's yielding because now we talk with each other. Now again, I know our bosses, the governors also, they share information, they talk each other. Now governors are faced with a responsibility that ordinarily, when you talk about them as chief security officers, they should have their responsibility, which is on conflict mitigation and management, but now it has scaled up to issues that concerns defense. Now you begin to see even our armed forces having a refocused role from their primary responsibility, which is to defend the country from external aggressor, but now getting involved in internal security. And all these are dynamics that are just going on. But again, most of the state governors, especially I'll speak for my own state governor, His Excellency Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, who has been so committed because he sees this as a duty of care. So he's very, very committed in ensuring the peace and safety of those who elected him into office. Okay. And we've seen also the commitment of our community people and their resilience in also standing their ground to ensure that these criminals, terrorists, bandits do not change our lifestyle. So all these are things that is yielding result. Okay. Again, God has been on our side, helping us to stand firm. And so all these are playing together despite the enormous challenges, but again, we are getting some breakthrough. Okay, and
as you were saying, there's been a lot of activity going on. Munya local government, the news came in that you are increasing security in that area. It must have been, I'm imagining, one, the need, and two, intelligence is probably leading government in this direction. Did you hear me, Honorable Emmanuel? Honorable Emmanuel.
Yes, I can. Yes.
The Munya local government increase in security. Was that a function of one, need, and then two, probably intelligence? The beefing up of security in Munya.
Okay. So it's not Munya local government alone. There is increased security in certain local governments based on our assessment, based on the intelligence report that we have, and based on the trends that we've seen in activity. Yes, for Munya local government, we've increased security, and we are going to continue to increase our visibility in those axes. There are certain local governments that we've identified as they are the thoroughfare, they are the gateway where these bandits from other states assess, these terrorists from other states assess our states. So we are increasing our visibility and our presence there.
And as you indicated, you are seeing results of all of these, heightened action.
Correct.
All right then. Well, I'd like to thank you very much, Honorable Umar Emmanuel, the Niger State Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftaincy Affairs and Internal Security. Thank you very much. Hope to chat with you again and hear even happier news in the near future. Thank you very much for coming on, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you very much. And please, before I conclude, I just want to thank your media house and the good people for all the support and the contribution we are receiving. It is important also to just make it very clear that these are common criminals. We shouldn't give them a place in our community. The purpose at which they're doing this is for criminal purposes. And in as much as there are some who are aggrieved and their grievances can be addressed, but however, there are better ways of addressing those grievances. So they are criminals, and we must see it and deal with it from that angle. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Commissioner.